Welcome back to 100 more Worthwhile DOS games, where I replace all 100 games on the Worthwhile DOS games list with titles of similar quality. Today's game is a Bullfrog strategy that topped one of my top 25 lists over on the Random DOS Game Show. That title? Theme Hospital. In Theme Hospital, you're in charge of a hospital. Both the patients who come and visit and the staff who treat them. Build your various rooms for diagnosis and treatment and make sure everything is ticking over nicely, and everyone gets paid and is happy until the goals of the level are met. It's an ingenious strategy title, and one that has stood the test of time. It has a bright and comedic style with a terrific soundtrack, and things can get quite frenetic for you, the poor old hospital administrator, as people die, vomit all over your nice clean floors, and generally complain about things. As you progress in the game, you have to face more emergencies, more patients, and more illnesses, and the stressed out staff become increasingly temperamental and ask for raises, just like in a real hospital. The biggest problem we face when replacing this title is that the obvious one, also made by Bullfrog, is Theme Park, the predecessor to this game. Why is that an issue? Because it's also on the list, along with several other Bullfrog titles, because Bullfrog Productions were one of the best DOS developers in history, if not the best. To my knowledge, there's no other game quite like Theme Hospital for DOS. Bullfrog pretty much cornered the market with that sort of strategy, and all its imitators ran on Windows. So how on earth do you replace a game that good with one of similar quality? Well, one of the things about the Worthwhile DOS games list is that it doesn't include games that were released for Windows and DOS at the same time. A strange choice, and one I plan to exploit mercilessly. If you load the introduction to Theme Hospital and you pause here, there you go. There's your replacement right there. Another Bullfrog game. That's a Horned Reaper, and this is Dungeon Keeper. Instead of a hospital, you have a dungeon. Instead of staff, you have minions. And instead of patients, you have a lot of do-gooders and rival keepers to destroy. You proceed from area to area, defiling the land and listening to the malevolent tones of Richard Ridings. The atmosphere is gloomy and dark, the complete opposite of the bright and colourful game it's replacing, but there's still plenty of that trademark Bullfrog humour peppered throughout. Plus, in addition to picking up people like in any other game, you can now hit them a slap with your giant hand. Dig out walls, delve deeper into the depths of the earth, and send your minions scurrying forth to desiccate any opposition you uncover. It's all delightfully depraved and sadistic, and will speak to the darker, more malevolent side of your soul, assuming you still have one. Much like Theme Hospital, you have specialised rooms for various tasks, and much like any good staff, your minions require upkeep in the form of food and gold. Theme Hospital and Dungeon Keeper were famously released in the same year by the same company, and are the yin and yang, the alpha and omega of this particular strategy niche, that nobody came close to replacing for another 20 years. Fortunately, these days we have the modernised equivalents in War for the Overworld and 2 Point Hospital, which feature former members of both teams, and are both worth checking out. But only after you've seen these seminal Bullfrog strategies in action. Even to this day, there's nothing quite like them, and they're both very playable. So embrace the darkness, and become a keeper, protecting your pulsating dungeon heart as you spread your evil forth into the darker places of the world.